We're continuing the Maimer Tzav as Bnei Yisrael as Karbani Lachmi Lishai from Shabbos Parshas Pinchas, which was Mevarchim Menachem of Tavshin Yud Aleph. And so in the Maimer, the Rebbe is explaining the Maila, the advantage that there is in the avodah of bringing Karbanis, specifically in the Gashmis of the world. And in order to explain this, the Rebbe went at length to explain, until explaining the idea of Dira B'Tachtainim, that the whole purpose of creation is that Hashem should have a dwelling place down here, which means that even down here in a place where technically, and by definition, godliness is not revealed, Hashem should feel, so to speak, comfortable to be able to live here, meaning that the essence of Hashem should be revealed here in this world. And in order to explain this, we explained also the idea that everything comes through the actions of a person. And even in Gan Eden, where Gan Eden is a place where a person is able to recognize the existence and even the essence of godliness. Unlike this world where we don't see it at all, and we don't see the reality of the real existence of the physical world, which is also godliness. We don't recognize that either in this world. In Gan Eden, we're able to recognize the essence of godliness. And nevertheless, in Gan Eden, the shine, what comes through a person's avodah is only the shine of the Torah and avodah. That's what a person is able to enjoy in Gan Eden. But through the avodah, we can bring something higher than Gan Eden itself. Gan Eden itself is in a way Avaida Memale, a light which comes into the world, whereas through Avaida in this physical world we bring the Eira Seviv, the light and the energy that's above the world. And this the Rebbe continues to say that the main Avaida, the main things through which we bring the Dira B'Tachtainim is specifically the Avaida Sakarbanis, and even in the beginning of creation, in Gan Eden, when Adam Arishan was placed in Gan Eden, the main Avaida was Le'avda, U'Lishamra, to guard it, which to guard it means the Avaida of Karbanis. What's the idea and what's the meaning of the Avaida of Karbanis? And so the Rebbe explains that even when a person, even when godliness is revealed in this world, nevertheless the purpose is not just that it should be revealed, because the existence of godliness in this world is already here. The purpose and the goal is that it should be revealed in a way that it's able to be internalized, bipnimius, it can come internalized in the world. And the way to bring it in a revealed way, but internalized within the world, is by getting rid of the concealment. Because the whole point is that in this world there's a concealment that doesn't enable, that doesn't allow godliness to be revealed in a physical way internally in this world. And in order that it should be revealed, we have to get rid of the concealment. How do we do this? So there's the avodah of Karbanis. Because Karbanis is both the contemplation and recognition that my existence is kalachshiv, has no importance in relation to its true existence, which is that my real existence is godliness. And at the same time, when it's a carbon which is brought in a physical way, with a physical animal, then not only is there the realization, but it's revealed, it's in a way that it's able to be seen physically in the world, that a person sees how the animal is becoming consumed by the fire of the Mizbeach. And that's why specifically the Avodah of Karbanis, and not just the spiritual avodah of Karbanis, but the physical avodah of Karbanis gets rid of the concealment and enables us to be able to see godliness in a revealed way internally in this world. And that's why we say that the Raza, the Kurban, the Raza, the Insaif, that the secret that there is in a Karban reaches the secret of the infinite, not just Oirein Seif, the infinite light of Hashem, because that's revelation, but the Atzma is the essence which is revealed internally in the physical world. And this is the purpose that's accomplished specifically through bringing a physical animal on the Mizbeach, that as a result the godliness is revealed in the world in an internal way. Now the Rebbe continues to say that even in the Avodah of Karbanis, there's two types of Karbanis. There's the Karbanis that were after Chet Eitz Hadas, which means that after Adam HaRishon sinned with the Eitz Hadas, so it says, Vayigarsheyu migan Eden. Hashem chased Adam HaRishon away from Gan Eden. Why was he chased out of Gan Eden? Because Gan Eden is not able to tolerate bad. Gan Eden can't tolerate evil and negativity. The moment that Adam HaRishon sinned, he brought bad and negativity upon himself. He wasn't able to be tolerated in Gan Eden anymore. Now, even though it says that Hashem chased him away because he was afraid, maybe he'll eat from the Eitz HaChaim, the tree of life, will live forever, but Hashem can do anything. Hashem could have done that in other ways. The reason why he specifically chased him out of Gan Eden, sent him out of Gan Eden, is because now he has bad in him. He's not able anymore to be in Gan Eden. Which means that once a person is outside of Gan Eden, once Adam HaRishon left Gan Eden, and now there's the Avodah of Karbanis that was done later, it was no longer the same type of Avodah Karbanis that there was in Gan Eden. The Avodah Karbanis then became in a manner of dealing with the mix of good and bad, which is what we call Avodah Sabirurim, refining and elevating the sparks of godliness that are trapped in the darkness of the bad. Because now a person's already himself brought upon himself the mixture of good and bad, and a carbon has to separate and be able to deal with that confusion of good and bad, which is called Avodah Sabirurim. Whereas in Gan Eden, before the Chet Eitz Hadas, when Adam HaRishon would bring Karbanis, the carbon merely was to draw down a higher spiritual light. There was no need for Birurim. There wasn't bad and good mixed in together, that they had to be save the godly sparks, but rather to draw down the light of the Eir HaSovev, of the infinite light of Hashem, which is beyond this world, through Karbanis, through revealing the physical animal becoming consumed by the fire of the Mizbeach. As a result, he got rid of the Alamis Ve'esterim, the concealment, where godliness can't be revealed in this world, and draw down a higher level of godly light into the world. So that's why the main Avodah of Karbanis was in the beginning of time in Gan Eden. Nevertheless, even so, the Avodah of Karbanis of Gan Eden was still not the ultimate. The ultimate will be specifically in the time of Mashiach. Because the Avodah of Karbanis of Gan Eden was still before Matan Torah. Before the Torah was given, there was still a mechitza, a separation between the higher worlds and the lower worlds. Even when a person brought a carbon, he couldn't really bring down the essence of Hashem into the physical world. The ultimate Dira B'Tachtonim was still not able to be done. And like the Rebbe Rashab says, that even though Adam HaRishon was Yitzir Kapov Shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu, he was on the highest possible level, he was created by Hashem's own hands. Nevertheless, regarding the mitzvahs of Adam HaRishon, just like the mitzvahs of the patriarchs of Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov from before the giving of the Torah, we say that Reichoi Sayu. They were only like a smell, meaning an outer thing. They weren't internalized in the world. A Reach means a smell, it's not the thing itself. Which means that despite the fact that Adam HaRishon, not just his neshama, because a neshama, everyone has a neshama, everyone has a soul which is part of Hashem. Vayipach ba'apav nishmas chayim, Hashem blew into our nostrils a neshama of life. The same neshama as Adam HaRishon, which is chelek aloika mimal mamash, an actual part of Hashem, is found in every one of us. The novelty in Adam HaRishon is that even his body was also Yitzir Kapov, created by Hashem's hands, and yet, nevertheless, his mitzvahs were not able to reach the essence because there still wasn't the giving of the Torah. Only once the Torah was given, that Hashem then abolished the separation that's between the higher and the lower worlds. And that happened through Anoichi, Hashem starting Matan Torah with the word Anoichi, which means revealing the Atzmos. Anoichi is I, the Atzmos, the essence of Hashem. And like the Gemara says that Anoichi is Rosh Tevis, it's the acronym of the words Ana, Nafshi, Ksavis, Yahavis. Hashem says, I, myself, have written myself and given myself in the Torah, that Hashem gave over His essence in the Torah. That now the essence of Hashem is revealed, and as a result of the essence of Hashem, the world is able to connect, the higher and lower can be together. And that's why the whole purpose, the Gemara tells us that Hashem made a condition with the creation of the world, that only if the Jewish people will receive the Torah, then the world will be able to continue to exist, and if not, the world will turn to nothingness. Because the world, the way it's meant to be, can only exist as a result of the giving of the Torah. So now we have two types of karbanis. There's the karbanis of after Matan Torah, where we can draw down the essence of Hashem into the world, but nevertheless it's dealing with a mix-up of good and bad. It's dealing with birudim, with refining, with saving the sparks that are trapped in the physical world. And then we have the type of karbanis that happened before Chet Eitzadas and Gan Eden, that they were involved with drawing down higher godly light. There was no need for Avodas HaBirudim. La'asid love, in the time of Mashiach, they'll be both together. On one hand, it's after Matan Torah, so we already have the fact that we're able to draw down the essence of Hashem into the physical world. And at the same time, the world will then resort to the space that it was before Chet Eitzadas. There won't be any more a mixture of good and bad. And like we say that Hashem is going to remove the spirit of impurity from the earth. That's why there won't be a need for death anymore. That's why all the animals, the wolf and the sheep, are able to lie together, because there's no longer any negativity. There's no longer any idea of bad and evil and negativity. And that's why in that time they'll be able to be the Avodah of Karbanis, won't be birurim, to refine the good from the bad, but rather drawing down a higher type of light, but it will draw it down into the world. That will be the ultimate of Dirat B'Tachteinim. And that's the reason, and that's the answer to what we asked in the beginning. What's so special about Karbanis? Is because through a carbon that's in the physical world, we reveal godliness in the world, we make a Dirat B'Tachteinim. But specifically, when it's done after Matan Torah, and even more than that, La'asid Lava, in the time of Mashiach, that's when the ultimate Avodah of Karbanis will be revealed. How does that happen? The ultimate perfection and completion that comes in the time of Mashiach is all a result of everything we do in the time of Galus. And as we mentioned earlier in the Maimer, that Hashem made the world in a way that everything that happens in the world, even the highest concepts, even the highest revelations, all come as a result of the actions of a person down here. Now everything that's going to come and be revealed in the time of Mashiach is a result of what we do during the time of Galus, which means that through our Avodah in Galus, that's how we bring the greatest Avodah of Karbanis, which is in the time of Mashiach, K'mitzvah Seinecha, in the ultimate perfect way, which shows something that causes something else. Shows how great the thing itself is, which means that we see how important the Avodah in the time of Galus, that what we do now can bring the ultimate of mitzvah ritzenecha. And that's also, the Rebbe ends off the Maimer was saying an interesting thing. That's why it says in the Pasuk, in Eicha, Kol Ridfeo Hisigua Beina Mitzarim, which simply means all those who pursued it, or her, pursued the Jewish people, the Jewish nation, reached her, Beina Mitzarim, between the constraints in the time, in the 3 weeks between the 17th of Tammuz and Tisha B'Av. But the deeper meaning, according to Chassidus, is that Kol Reitfel, whoever pursues holiness, anything one pursues to try and achieve, hisigua, we're able to achieve the highest types of achievements, specifically in the time of Bein HaMetzarim, because this is the time of the descent that brought the galus, but since it's the avodah of galus that brings the highest things, therefore through our actions and through our avodah and through our pursuing the truth in the time of Bein HaMetzarim during these 3 weeks which brought galus, we're able to achieve the highest levels. And as a result, we're able to achieve the greatest level, which is the time of Mashiach, the time of the avodah of Karbanis, which is the ultimate of Dira B'Tachtainim, speedily in our time.